It's funny because, before I did Rich Kids, I also was a filmmaker out there trying to, who had this great dream of making a film and, didn't have the financing or the access.
Welcome. This is part 3 of Low Budget Filmmaking Trips with Laura Summers. If you haven't already checked out her amazing movie called Rich Kids, do so. It is in the link in the description below. It's on Amazon. You owe it to yourself to check that one out. In this video, she is going to drop a hint or a tip that absolutely kind of blew me away, and obviously something I've been overlooking. So make sure you keep watching this video. It's going to be worth it. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to have a preview of the next video that is coming up, part 4. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and if you would, make the YouTube algorithm happy. And I would appreciate it if you would give this video a like.
The third thing that I had mentioned was to cultivate your fan base from friends and family. This is a really important part of the process because, again, independent filmmakers are outside of the Hollywood system. And so you don't necessarily have, and people are living in completely other states outside of California or outside of New York City, what I mean? And so you don't have those connections to the people that might give you funding or might give you, opportunities or anything like that. And, but you can still make a film anywhere, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially, of course, with all the digital equipment and everything available to you now. I mean, Rich Kids was filmed in Pasadena, Texas, which is outside of Houston. And, while there is a very small film community there, they don't make a lot of feature films. They do mostly commercials and stuff like that. And a lot of people, just don't have that feature film experience. But the thing that you do have when you're an independent filmmaker is you have people who love you. Who want to help you see your dream come true.
And that's important.
It is. It really is. And those are the people that are going to keep you going. And I'm not just talking about like emotional, emotional support, but Rich Kids was crowdfunded. The majority of the money that we got for the film was crowdfunded. The film was only $80,000 budget. And so, my husband and I paid a large, paid about 40,000 of that. And the other half of it was, which we had put on credit cards and everything like that, I'll just add, but we were willing to kind of take that risk. And fortunately it's paid off. That is paid off and the risk has been paid off. I mean, we put the debt on about 6 years and we just recently paid it off. So we really we're very motivated to chip away. But because I want to just be totally transparent. So people,
thank heaven for credit cards, right?
They're heaven and hell, right? The other 40,000 that we had was completely crowdfunded. And, anybody that's thinking about doing crowdfunding, I would highly recommend because, when you do it, it feels really daunting. The idea of doing it is daunting and it feels maybe embarrassing or humiliating to go and ask people for money. But honestly, if you can kind of put aside those fears and realize that you're creating something that's going to include people, that everyone is going to come together to make something big, and that every person that gives you money is giving it to you because, again, they love you and they want to support you, but they also want to chip into being part of a big dream. And so, through that, we, again, raised $40,000. And we had people coming from you know, the people who did the majority of the fundraising were myself and my co-writer, David Saldana, and our producer, Eddie Rodriguez. And
Okay.
so, and that was it. You know, it wasn't like we had a lot of people, but we went and asked every single human being on the planet that we knew to chip in $25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people did. And yeah. And some people did, and some people couldn't do it. And we did 2 crowdfunding campaigns and raised, you know, the 20,000 the first time, and did another one a year later for post-production, and did,
Okay.
you know, 20,000 the second time. So we split the campaigns up.
Well, that's probably smart. That sounds very
Yes,
smart.
that is really important.
Mhm.
You know, because the people who couldn't contribute the first time, when we came back, they were able to. Or that
Oh,
people who were like, I don't want to contribute to this film. What is this? When we had footage that we could show them, that the important thing for people to remember is that when you ask these people, when you're bringing these people on for funding for your film, you know, you don't just say thanks for the money, goodbye. You know, it's really important. Again, like I said, your friends and fans, you're building this army of people who are supporting you, who want to see you succeed, and you have to keep them updated throughout the entire process.
Right.
And keep them excited about your film. You know, I would let them know the good and the bad. I mean, I was making like diary videos during the shoot, and I would, like, you know, tell them the horrible things that were happening on set, and I would cry, and, you know, people would watch them, and they were just so emotionally invested in
Really?
me and the project, so that when we had our successes, that it was huge highs for them, you know, and we just always kept them abreast of everything that we were doing along the way. And that everywhere we went, we would get more, you know, people that could be part of our fan base, and that all of our cast and crew, then all of their people, it's like branching out, and their friends and families became fans of the film and would tell other people about it. You know what I mean? And when we went to film festivals, you know, we would always attend the film festivals, so that we had that personal connection with our audiences. They could see us, they could talk to us, you know. They would, you know, we would collect their emails, and we would put their emails in a database, so that we could continue to keep them updated, so that when we went on to the next phase, whether we were going to another city to do a film festival, they could tell their friends about it. When we got onto Netflix, you know, we would not have had the success we had without the friends and family. And when we got onto Netflix, the fans and family were so excited about it that they told everyone that they knew, and it blew up on Netflix. And by the first week of it being on Netflix, it was in people's like most popular category, or like it beat the algorithm. And so then it was like in the recommended section for people who were in the, you know, for random people who didn't know about the film. And so it was able, you know, like, and and that's just incredible, you know, like. And so, you know, again, when I talk about, like, you know, really nurturing those relationships, because, you know, we worked on Rich Kids we spent 5 years working on that film. And everybody we met came along and became part of that family. And, you know, they're like, you know, as the filmmakers, you know, we're very focused and driven, and we really want to, it's that focus and that drive that gets the project across the finish line and gets it finished. But it's the fans and the family that tell everybody else about it.
Take it further, right?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So those are the 3 things.
As promised, here's your preview of part 4 of Low Budget Filmmaking Tricks with Laura Summers. Thanks for watching.
So that was such a great question. And I thought about it. Okay, so here's what I would have done differently. And you asked about ripe or rich kids. And so, you know, which one? And I think it's actually, I learned something from Ripe that I applied differently to Rich Kids, and I saw the success of Rich Kids that I didn't see with Ripe.